you're all doing well today. I was just thinking every week the pace of updates in ICP seems to get faster. Sometimes it feels like you blink and a whole new wave of tools and projects have arrived. In today's episode, we have got a mix that really shows how quickly things are moving. From a new era of secure logins with Internet Identity 2.0 to ICP Ninja making life easier for creators, and finally, a playful experiment that turns runes into an arcade with Kyle Stoflet's Pup Arcade. We have got plenty to unpack. So let's walk through what's new. Let's start with something that many developers and users have been waiting for. Internet identity has moved into its next phase with the release of version 2.0 on ID.ai. If you have been around ICP apps before, you will know internet identity has always been a bit of a double edged sword. On one hand, it's been praised for being secure and decentralized. But on the other, users often found it clunky and confusing, especially with those long identity numbers. With this new release, the identity numbers are finally gone. Instead, the system now uses passkeys, which are stored directly on your device. That means no more copying digits into notepads or worrying about misplacing them. It's faster, easier, and better aligned with current security standards. For users who prefer something familiar, Google Login has also been introduced. This might lower the barrier for people who were hesitant about using internet identity in the past. Having the option to log in with a single click makes it feel a lot closer to the experiences people are used to elsewhere online. The interface has had a refresh too. It's cleaner, more intuitive, and it makes account management feel less like a chore. One particularly useful feature is the ability to create multiple accounts under a single identity. This means you can keep a personal account and a test account within the same app without setting up a completely new identity. Developers especially will find that handy. Of course, rolling out a new version comes with challenges. Current users of Internet Identity 1.0 are being asked to upgrade, but the transition has been designed to keep things smooth. Credentials remain valid across both versions, and the upgrade can be triggered either directly on ID.ai or when logging into supported apps like Caffeine. Developers, meanwhile, need to update their identity provider URLs from identity.internetcomputer.org to id.ai. The old domains will eventually move over to 2.02, so the upgrade is inevitable. But for those who move early, the benefits include not just better usability, but also stronger future proofing in terms of security. For most people, the big win is that logging in feels less intimidating. Whether it's through passkeys or Google login, the barriers are being lowered, and that's good news for anyone who wants to see broader adoption of apps built on ICP. Next, let's talk about developers. ICP Ninja, which many creators use as their go-to toolkit for building and deploying apps, has rolled out a batch of updates designed to make life easier. The first noticeable change is GitHub integration. Instead of manually copying code over, developers can now import projects directly from GitHub. That's a big time saver and makes version control a lot smoother. The platform has also cleaned up its visual presentation. The new landing page feels more polished with smaller icons and cards that make it easier to navigate. A globe icon now lets you quickly switch between development view and live application view, which adds a nice layer of convenience. For those who are still learning the ropes, ICP Ninja has added more practical examples, including Solana integration and cross canister calls. These examples aren't just for show. They give developers ready-made starting points that can be tweaked and deployed, cutting down the time it takes to move from an idea to a working app. On the technical side, ICP Ninja has improved its build server so it can handle a wider variety of projects. Once apps are deployed, they now get permanent canister IDs, which means they remain accessible on the internet computer without risk of getting lost in the shuffle. And here is a nice bonus. ICP Ninja has sent out airdropped publishing coupons. If you have received one, it means you can launch apps for free. If you haven't checked your inbox recently, it's worth taking a look. This kind of incentive is clever because it encourages developers to experiment without worrying about cost. The overall effect of these changes is a smoother, more robust environment for developers. By removing friction points like manual imports, offering permanent deployment, and adding real world examples, ICP Ninja is positioning itself as an indispensable tool for anyone building on the internet computer. If you are a developer or even just experimenting with the ecosystem, now it's a great time to dive back in and see what's changed. Finally, let's move to something lighter but equally fascinating. Kyle Stoflet has been experimenting with Caffeine, the no-code platform that allows quick app creation, and the result is something called the Pup Arcade. In less than 30 minutes plus about 15 minutes of casual tinkering, he built an arcade with 5 mini games, all themed around pup, woof of work. He live streamed the build so anyone could watch the process. It's not just about speed, though the Pup Arcade has a playful twist. One of the highlights is Whack a Pup, which Stowlet enhanced in just 4 minutes with a new feature to make the hash dog community smile. The arcade itself is gated, meaning it only opens if someone has purchased pub tokens from Rich Swap within the past hour. It's a clever combination of access control and community engagement, turning token ownership into a playful requirement. Looking ahead, Stowlet has even bigger plans. He is working on a Tamagotchi-style game that will show how a subscription model can be built into runes using caffeine. If he completes it this week, it could serve as a proof of concept for how subscription services can be layered into decentralized apps. The Pub Arcade is small, but it's an interesting experiment in how blockchain tokens can carry utility beyond simple transactions. With minimal code, rapid development, and live community feedback, projects like this remind us that sometimes the best way to test ideas is to just build something fun and see how people respond. So, what ties all of this together? Internet Identity 2.0 shows us that usability and security are improving for everyday users. ICP Ninja is giving developers the tools they need to move faster and more confidently. And Kyle's Pub Arcade demonstrates how creativity and experimentation can bring utility to tokens in ways that are playful and accessible. These stories reflect different sides of the internet computer ecosystem, where users, developers, and creators all pushing forward in their own ways. It's a reminder that progress doesn't always happen in one big leap. Sometimes it comes in the form of smoother logins, easier workflows, or even a quirky arcade game that puts a smile on someone's face. If you would like to support this channel, details for donations are in the description. You will also find links to Internet Identity 2.0, ICP Ninja, and the Pup Arcade there, so you can explore them further or try them out yourself. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.